Okay, guys, so Kevin Durant is not moving. The Nets had a statement today where Steve Nash, Joe Tsai, Clara Wu Tsai met with KD and Rich Kleiman, and I guess they hashed it out. I don't know what happened to that meeting, of course, but the biggest thing to me is KD and Nash. Like, if KD and Joe Tsai and Sean Marks, whatever, have some friction, like, whatever. It doesn't really affect the basketball at the end of it all. But with Steve Nash, it definitely can. Maybe it's not possible for them to be buddy-buddy at this point, because of course, KD had the thing of get Sean Marks and Steve Nash out of here or else trade me. But I guess as long as they can be in a healthy enough work relationship, then that's all you can really ask for. And perhaps in time, it can be chill enough. Perhaps it's already chill. I don't really know. And beyond that, I guess we move on to the basketball. I mean, Kyrie, his relationship with everybody, that's also going to matter within this thing as well. He's on a 1 year deal. KD's on a much longer contract, of course. I wonder how much was Kyrie discussed in that meeting? Did KD need a lot of assurance that the Nets and Kyrie will eventually agree to a deal? Or did they leave that meeting with a lot of stuff still up in the air about the future and Kyrie's contract and all that? To now think about the Nets for at least this upcoming season, obviously we know how good KD and Kyrie are. I don't think I need to talk about them that much. I already said in my Eastern Conference questions video, like, I understand Ben Simmons and the impact he can have on this team with his switching defense and his screen setting for all these guys, but I don't want him to just be that. I want him to be featured in the offense. I want him to be bringing the ball up court and calling plays. I want Nick Claxton screening for Ben really early in possessions to see if you can just get him going downhill. But of course, that's going to require Ben to be a bit more assertive. That's going to require everybody embracing that this guy's the best passer on the team, and therefore we should probably allow him to do that a bit. But of course, you're still going to have your KD, Kyrie ISOs or just letting them cook, and that's totally fine. I mean, you should always have that in your offense. So we'll see the proper balance of that whole thing. I just really hope Ben Simmons is not in the dunker spot all the time. Another thing is if Ben Simmons has the ball and you're sagging off of him, well, okay, Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Kyrie, KD, one of you get up here and let's just run a simple handoff action, and Patty Mills as well. Same thing the Warriors do when someone's sagging off of Draymond or Looney, Steph or Clay or whoever comes for the handoff, and then, you're not up on the screen. To look at the rest of it, I mean, the Royce ONeal trade doesn't look as bad now, giving up that first for him. The moment that KD's trade request came out, I mean, he's an okay enough 3-and-D guy for you who will most likely not be tasked with guarding the best perimeter guy a lot of the times, like he was in Utah. Like, Royce ONeal's fine, but he's not like your go-to defend stars or second stars or whatever guy. There's also TJ Warren, and I mean, I already did in that video. I think his potential with this team is like pretty damn decent for a catch and shoot guy, attacking off the catch, cooking sometimes in isolations. Granted, everything TJ Warren will be doing, I think Cam Thomas also believes he can do. And, in some ways that can be a good thing, having a couple of scorers like that next to KD and Kyrie. Sometimes it could also be like, all right, man, you don't need to shoot this much. We got the other guys who can do it. With that said, I would anticipate that TJ Warren will be more disciplined with his shot selection and all that than Cam Thomas. I also feel like TJ defensively got a bit better. Now, that was before the injury, so we'll see what he looks like afterwards. But KD, Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton, TJ Warren, like, yeah, no one's thinking of TJ Warren as like an all-defense guy or whatever, but he's 6'8". You put in good effort. He's a strong guy. I feel like he can be a piece of some good defensive units. Now, with that said, I mentioned Nick Claxton. The switchability of him and Ben defensively, that's pretty hype. Yeah, Claxton is not one of the biggest and strongest centers, but I think against most of the NBA, that's fine. Unfortunately, Joel Embiid is in the Eastern Conference. So if these teams meet in the playoffs, we will see if the Nets have an answer for Joel, but a lot of things have to happen before we can have that conversation. It's a pretty well-balanced roster, man. I mean, just looking at the starting five, whether it's Joe Harris or Seth Curry starting, like, it's Kyrie, one of those two, and Kevin Durant. I mean, that's as much shooting as you could ever ask for out of a starting lineup. It doesn't even matter who the other two guys are. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't matter at all, but I don't foresee them having spacing problems, assuming that they're just not packing Claxton and Simmons in the paint with each other. So anyway, if everything was going well with the chemistry and all that stuff, which is not a guarantee, I understand that completely, because it's never been a guarantee with this team. But if there is a scenario in which that's the case, then yeah, these guys can win a championship in my eyes.